Feng Shui for different home areas. The Kai, a positive energy that brings in prosperity, should always flow freely through different areas in the home. The following are simple Feng Shui tips for the different areas in the home. The kitchen. The stove must be away from the door, but the cook should be able to see the door. If not possible, install a mirror. Never position the stove opposite the sink, refrigerator, or dishwasher. A clash of the elements fire and water is not a good idea. Keep your cupboard and refrigerator well stocked with food supplies. It implies wealth and abundance. Avoid positioning the stove directly in front of a window. Placing the stove to the side of a window is better. The bathroom or toilet. Never place the toilet opposite the kitchen. The Feng Shui fire and water elements will clash in this situation. The toilet must not be placed adjacent to the front door. Place the toilet somewhere far away from the front door. Avoid positioning the toilet door directly opposite the front door. This may lead to wasted opportunities. Place a huge mirror behind the bathroom sink. But never use the kind that is split in the middle, often seen in bathroom cabinets. Make sure that the plumbing fixtures in the bathroom and toilet are not leaking, especially the faucets. The bedroom. The bedroom should not be adjacent or opposite to a bathroom or toilet. If this is unavoidable, make sure you keep the bathroom or toilet door closed at all times. Position the bed as far away from the door as possible. But make sure you still have a good view of the door from the bed. At the same time, do not place your bed where your feet are pointed towards the door when you are sleeping. Mirrors should not be placed where they reflect your image as you sleep. Round and oval-shaped mirrors are ideal, but make sure they are larger than your head. Sleeping directly on the floor is not suggested as it does not allow the Kai to flow beneath you. The stairway. Traditionally, the favorable number of steps in a stairway is an odd number. A spiral staircase is also a blunder because it confuses the Kai. The worst mistake that can happen is when the staircase leads directly to the front door. This leads to the loss of opportunities, and the residents tend to be always rushing, seldom settling in. A good way to slow down the flow of Kai outside the front door is to hang a wind chime on the ceiling above the base of the staircase. A heavy figurine at the floor level below may also act helpful. Lobbies and hallways. Hallways need to be free of impediments and are needed to be well lit. It should also be clear to anyone where they are to go next in the house. A nice piece of art may be hung on the wall to the end of a hallway. However, never place a mirror there, it will only reflect back the entering Kai. There should be no hallway in the house that leads directly to a toilet. If it is already there, just make sure the door is closed at all times. These are some tips to overcoming and preventing Kai flow problems, giving you a harmonious Feng Shui home. Simple Feng Shui tips for the home. Part of an ancient Chinese art and science, Feng Shui is basically concerned with the harmonious relationship between man and his environment. It is based on a Taoist idea that nature is alive and has energy in different forms. Many modern aficionados assert that Feng Shui is the practice of arranging objects, such as in the home, to help attract positive energy. The following are a few basic Feng Shui tips for the home. 1. A marble table in the house is not good for the career since it attracts work stress. A red sofa set too is often said to give rise to work obstacles and troubles. Replace that marble table with a wooden one, and that red sofa with any other color. 2. Have enough lighting in the rooms because light is an important source of energy. In dull spaces where natural light from the window is limited, paint the walls with yellow, which represents sunlight. 3. The bed should be placed next to a wall. You must not also sleep in a way where your feet are pointed towards the door, as this has negative connotation. A mirror where you can see yourself in as you are lying in bed has to be removed, or covered with a blanket as you sleep. 4. The doorway should not be obstructed with anything, such as shoes and other items. A clear entrance allows the positive energy to freely enter the room. It is also advised that the seating is so arranged that anyone inside the room will be able to see the door. 5. Placing mirrors in the room help positive energy dart through the area. They amplify the amount of light inside the room. Mirrors also make the room appear much larger than it actually is, giving a cozy vibe. 6. Plants represent nature, and having yourself surrounded by them evokes the healing and nurturing vibrations of nature right into your room. However, dying or dead plants attract negative energy, so take them out immediately. 7. Make sure that there is no refrigerator, washing machine, dishwasher and even sink placed opposite the stove. Fire and water clash, this might stir up negative energies that may cause the family members to have disagreements with one another. 8. Never allow your children to sleep on the floor because it may cause them to get sick often. Ideally, positive energy flowing underneath the bed is beneficial. So it is advised for your children to sleep in beds with space beneath them. However, it is not recommended for them to use double bunk beds because the child sleeping beneath will get sickly. 9. The flowing of positive energy is generally interrupted by disorder or clutter in the room. Positive energy should be allowed to flow freely in the room, and from one space to the other. Clutter has to be removed, especially from the center of your house, which is considered the heart of the house. 10. Keep your bathroom clean and the bathroom door closed at all times since you don't want the negative energy inside it flow outside. You might also want to close all doors in the home as you sleep, as it helps provide health, domestic relationships and promotes health. For beginners, Feng Shui does not have to mean using particular tools to come up with a harmonious home. Sticking to the basic aspects is enough to attract the right energies into your home. Feng Shui arrows. In Feng Shui, the term arrows refer to sharp objects that bring bad luck and negative energy. In a way, like an arrow, it cuts through all the positive chi or energy within an environment. These arrows are inadvertently distributed all over the world, and if you are a budding Feng Shui enthusiast, it may be helpful to know what arrows in life you must watch out for. The arrow of staircases. The most popular arrow is the arrow from staircases. To locate this arrow, just try to find that space underneath the staircase of your home. From just standing there, you will already feel all the heaviness, not just from footsteps, but also from the energy that is being siphoned off in that area because of the staircase arrows. As much as possible, avoid hanging out underneath staircases or placing living rooms directly underneath staircases. In case this is unavoidable and you are cramped for space, you may have to buy some Feng Shui charms to ward off the negative effect. The arrow of complex architecture. Complex architecture may be lovely to look at but not necessarily good for business. If you are really after getting the most out of your buildings and inviting all the positive energy, avoid complex structures. By complex structures we mean architectural designs which have too many pointed edges, e.g. star-shaped buildings. All these arrows are actually detrimental to people who will be standing directly in front of these arrows. The escalator arrow in malls. Getting the right stalls from malls may be quite tricky, but here's a rule of thumb: avoid the stalls which are directly in front of the bottom step of the escalator. This is because all the energy and prosperity is being drawn off and invited out of the stalls by the negative arrow of the escalator. While people may think that positioning oneself directly to where customers can view the store as they alight the escalator, it's bad feng shui and detrimental to one's profit. Arrows from attics. If you have an attic, chances are, you get the irregular ceiling shapes from the walls. Try to soften the arrows from your attic ceilings by hanging chimes and other charms of feng shui. The arrows from attics can invite more stress and carry over negative energy from the past, especially if you are using the attic to store up old stuff. Arrows from irregularly erected walls. Irregularly erected walls or walls that lean diagonally forward may be dangerous. If at all possible, avoid placing the bed beside the region where the wall leans. This is where the arrows will hit you while you are resting. There are other arrows in the world, and you may actually name some more based from your direct experience. Whether the exposure to arrows may bring bad luck forever or not, the practical side of feng shui avoids complications and wants a bright space where light can quickly come through. All the other invisible elements like the energy just follow suit. Despite the warnings on arrows, this is not saying that we must abolish arrows in our lives. The whole key to the feng shui concept on arrows is consistency and ability to put the arrows in a place where it can do minimal damage. Profiles of feng shui enthusiasts. Feng shui enthusiasts have different niches. Different personalities and cultural backgrounds are incorporated into the feng shui attempts. The good thing is that you do not have to limit yourself to a certain make to be able to apply Feng Shui. However, it may do you a lot of good if you are able to find the groups of people who have the same interests as yours as far as Feng Shui is concerned. If you are after the more rigid type of the loose application of Feng Shui, these are all possible depending on your preference, for Feng Shui is really all a matter of channeling the right energy to make the environment work to your benefit. The best thing about Feng Shui is that it attracts a huge variety of people. You don't even have to look too far and you will easily find a person who is into Feng Shui. And with the many challenges facing the world today, it is understandable that we seek help in various places, including Feng Shui aid. But different persons breed different motivations for applying Feng Shui, and here are some of the profiles of people who engage in Feng Shui. The business tycoon. The business tycoon is completely focused in profits. He or she will be most likely to ponder positioning and orientation of his office building in relation to the directions of prosperity. He may even alter the numbers of his landline and address, if at all possible, to tailor to the lucky numbers for a given season. But more often than not, the business tycoon won't have time to think all about these things and will be most likely to hire a Feng Shui expert to do it all under his approval. Big-time business people who like Feng Shui can afford the most expensive form of Feng Shui help there is and actually uses the profit to leverage in more profits with proper design and good Feng Shui. The pad-owning bachelor and bachelorette. The bachelor's priorities include adjusting to the adult world, getting financial stability and having fun socially. Typically, they are the ones who buy Feng Shui charms, remove flowers in the bedroom to avoid unfaithfulness in relationships. Fun-loving and modern, they may find that they are heavy on electronic or metal objects and may opt to balance it with a Zen fountain or two. The housewife. The housewife is the one who pores through magazines and seeks out Feng Shui tips online and offline. She may also derive the techniques from other fellow housewives and friends within the neighborhood. Her common focus on Feng Shui would most likely be oriented on home and family matters. The housewife who likes Feng Shui is most likely into interior designing of home, whether on an amateur or a professional level. The striving employee. The striving employee who likes Feng Shui aims to make a miniature balance of earth elements in his cubicle. This may involve him or her putting a small mirror for water, a jacket to ward off the excessive metal in the corporate workplace and many others. The striving employee may also invite relaxation and peace of mind by means of a plant ornament or any lovely fixture that doubles as a Feng Shui charm and a form of aesthetic display. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe.